Hello everyone, this is Serenes here, back with another awesome Halo 5 video for you guys today. Back with my second installment of the Champion Free-For-All August season gameplays. Playing a bit of Truth Free-For-All right here against pretty good player Traumitivity in this video. The MVP from my first episode of Champion Free-For-All August season gameplays. And also matching up here against Yayap, Don't Die, EndaStory Icecreampenguin. Now, playing on Truth, also known as Midship, a Halo map that has been in existence for all time, really, since Halo 2. And, I love this map in 4s, but in FFA on this game, it's a bit of a challenge to play, in my opinion, because the spawns are very random, and most of the time you're on top of other players very quickly on this map. Since it's the first time we've seen the map, as I explained in my first episode, I will discuss initial spawns on the map, power weapons you can grab on this map, and also about the power-ups in play on this map. So, as I said, we'll discuss all that good stuff today. So once I've got through all of that, I will move on to talk about my in-game decision-making in this one, and what was going through my mind at each second of this gameplay. So, I'll get on with talking about the map now. So obviously, most people know Midship, so symmetrical map, more or less. Well, basically it's a symmetrical map, about the center, pretty much. And two bases on either side, and the initial spawns at the start of a true free-for-all. These can sort of change a little bit like the stasis spawns, but the most common ones I am aware of, as you saw at the start, is 2 bubble spawns. Although that won't always be the scenario that you're facing off against someone immediately, but you should, if you spawn in a bubble, you should assume that there's someone else in the opposing bubble, because usually that's the case. Usually in free-for-all, when you have the initial spawns, there'll be 2 players that will have a 1v1 on the map, so that in the case of Truth, that's where the battle will happen. The other spawns on this map that I'm aware of are in Carbine, which you can spawn on top of Carbine or bottom Carbine on the sword. You can also spawn in both bases, up above basement area and in basement. And obviously 2 spawns are accounted for in the basement of the opposing base and the top side of that base. You can also spawn, I believe, on camo more or less. And I'm not sure if there's a spawn in P2, I'm not aware of it, but those are the main spawns that you can get in Truth FFA, so you should be really aware of those spawns when you're playing on this map, and if taking a power weapon, proceed with caution if you're taken to a spawn that you haven't really checked yet. So that's the main sort of spawns on the map. Power weapons on this map, Fuel Rod comes up every so often, and there are some new settings for Team Arena coming out, but I don't think it's going to change for FFA, but Fuel Rod comes out every, as I said, it's a power weapon with a time indicator, so it will come up at a set time and no other. So it's not recyclable, you can't use it over and over again if you use all the ammo and switch out for another weapon. There's also a Hydra spawn on this map in bottom mid, which is recyclable. However, you're not going to recycle the Hydra a lot on this map, to keep recycling it in bottom mid is quite hard to do with all 5 other players looking at you, so you're not really going to do that a lot. Also, sword spawns on this map under bottom Carbine, which is a really important power weapon on this map in my opinion. In my opinion, the sword for this map is actually the most important power weapon, and I feel like Fuel Rod takes over that role once you have camo. And camo will spawn every 2 minutes from when it was last grabbed. 2 minutes, 2 seconds to be precise, and those are occurring from when the game starts on the odd numbers, usually like 11:55 to 9:53, and so on and so on. But throughout an FFA game, a lot of things happen, so sometimes those timings will be delayed. But it's always a good play to try and look down there and see if you can see anyone setting up for the power up. You might pick up a kill here and there. So FFA, guys, as I sort of discussed in my first video, I'm going to talk a lot more about strategy because I don't have to introduce the series today. It's all about getting kills fast, and you want to be in the mix of the action at most times. Now I would suggest, obviously in my True Free-For-All games I explained it's not my best map actually, and you're going to see that in the series. I don't win on this map very often, but most of the time getting into a True Free-For-All match and doing well is just from having good awareness and just being aware of where the players are on the map. Players will spawn on you very quickly, so when you go for a kill you should really make sure that you try and get it and not choke that kill. You need to make every play needs to be really good when you play this map. P2 is a really essential area to control in my opinion on this map, because it's one of the most important places to put down shots on players, and there are spawns either side of you from both bases and their respective basements, so it is a pretty good place to camp and try and pick up kills. Also the VR spawns in here as well, which obviously makes your life a lot easier when you go for like 1v1s with particular players. So definitely, trying to hold P2 down is a good idea, but you do have to be careful about, sensibly pushing it and keep dying. You have to be really careful of that. As you saw from my previous death there was a guy in there with the sword, so I have to be really cautious of that. And having the sword on this map is going to be a massive ally to you. As you can see, I do pick it up here. Unfortunately, the skill gap, otherwise known as the storm rifle, clears me up very quickly. But if you can get the sword and a BR on this map, you definitely are set to go. And having the sword is a major advantage as well, because your Spartan just moves ever so slightly faster when you're sort of zooming and gliding with your Spartans. So definitely advantageous to get that sword, and it is very powerful on this map. And also getting camo is a must on this map. As you can see, I did think about the camo here. Unfortunately, I do get really unlucky with that battle on Icecreampenguin there, and I was pretty annoyed about that at the time. But if you can achieve both camo and fuel rod on this map, you're definitely set to go. And had I got it there, I would have definitely made plays. But luckily the Halo gods shined upon me and realised that was BS'd out of that kill on Icecreampenguin and give me a god spawn for a double. And right there, that was just not very good pistoling. My pistol in Halo 5 is not the best aspect of my play, if I'm honest, so that was a little bit of a bad duel to lose. That could have been maybe a triple if I'd been a bit quicker and had better aim. So that was really unfortunate, and that definitely was a kill that I should have got. And I think earlier on in this game I did notice I had a bit of a assault rifle choke near the beginning of the game where I could have easily beat the guy down. But I sometimes feel in Halo 5, like when you play, because most of the time I play on American servers, being an EU player, I feel that your beatdown doesn't really sort of register how it should. And like I felt as if sometimes I melee too early, but I think the game just doesn't sort of pick up the fact that I actually meleeed. And there have been times where I've went to melee and it comes out very slow, or doesn't actually happen. So I don't know why that is, but sometimes it is a fault of my own, but that does happen a lot in this game. And right there, it's really unfortunate to get the fuel rod with only a bit of ammunition in it, and I tried to connect with that guy there. I think I was a little bit too aggressive on that charge, but I probably just thought to myself I could probably get the kill because I had the battle rifle, and that would have been a nice way of extending my lead. But I think what's really important on midship is not to run around so much on the, in FFA, because it's very easy to get picked off. Like I said, when you spawn, it's a good idea to sort of charge off that initial spawn, because you're sort of clear of anyone around you for a little time, because otherwise you wouldn't have spawned there. So you have a bit of an opportunity to sort of get away and set up somewhere else. And being patient in FFA is definitely an important thing as well, to wait for the best opportunity. But you just have to make sure that you're in the midst of the action and that you are continuously getting kills. So right here's a really nice play to ignore that player underneath me for a time and finish up another player coming in weak, and that was a nice bit of play. And just looking to stay alive really, because the camo is coming up, and that's what I thought of when I made this play. So that's why I was kind of lurking around waiting for the right time and then grabbing myself a power up, which is a massive bit of play. What I didn't like here is I didn't clamber properly right here, and I missed the P3 jump, which is something I should have done. Really nice splinter nade, but it was a little bit, just a little bit, if that had been a little bit closer, that would have done a lot more damage and possibly killed the MVP in one hit. So that was a bit of a crap play as well. And then obviously getting cleared up by a player dropping from a P3 that I could have killed earlier. So, a little bit of bad plays with that camo, I will admit that. And then those shots there on Icecreampenguin were good, but I got cleared up from behind. So a little few choky plays right there. That camo definitely, that camo play could have been a lot better. And reflecting back on that, I would have just taken my time and been a bit more cautious, and try and when using a splinter nade, make sure that it really is on the player, really throw it in, but I was a bit nerving, I suppose, because he did have a fuel rod. But those plays I could have done there could have been so much better, so that is definitely something that I should do better for next time. Coming off my spawn here in the base, I'm tied up with Traumitivity right now, so I have to get kills. Just being cautious, crouch onto P2, because this is an area that players will definitely look to push, so I'm being cautious of alerting people of my presence. I'm right here just hearing shooting going on from this car bubble, so I'm looking to put some shots down. That's a really nice way to roam bottom mid, really good strategy to make that push there, because I heard a lot of players fighting in one particular area of the map on midship, so I know that I can just run across bottom middle and try and clear up a kill like that. So knowing when, like how many players are alive and dead, and how many players are in a particular area, definitely helps you in free-for-all to be able to push that area in without, actually getting shot at all, because you're sort of out of the main action for a while. And then, like a pure thief, you can just come in and steal some kills and kill the survivors. So that really is a strategy in FFA that can make your job a whole lot easier, because you've still got your shields. If any other players jump out on you whilst you're making that push, you can then finish them off as well. So it's a great play to be able to pinch kills like that. Ridiculously annoying for the player that you are pinching the kill off, but that's just FFA, and that's the way it works. So right here is a really nice perfect to get that kill the Magnum previously. Really nice way to remember the time for camo, which I do here, and setting up for it really well. At this point, just not coming out too much, because obviously I don't want to reveal myself too much. It was quite a late camo grab, this one, so it's making me think that someone actually grab it, or where is that power up, and it does seem particularly late, so I decided I would try and push away because I had someone chasing me, and I was able to get a kill out of it anyway, taking my lead now, having 23 kills, so I need 2 more kills. The second place, which is Yayap, Don't Die at the moment, has 19, I believe, so all I really have to do here is just close out the game with 2 more kills. And when you're this close to winning FFA, you shouldn't really choke the game right here. So you can see that a lot of players died in the kill feed just now, and that I knew Traumitivity was in the vicinity, so I had the height advantage, and I just challenged him straight up with a Magnum and got the really nice perfect with a Magnum to get that kill. And then looking to finish off MVP here with some nice nades to throw into basement, trying to sort of sandwich him in with the exit here, and I generally think I would have got this kill, with 2 things there. If my aim was more on point and he didn't have the storm rifle, but unfortunately he did, and I am going to be taken out there, but I was a little bit annoyed about that, because I was like, oh come on, I just want to end the game. And at this point Traumitivity got a couple more kills, but luckily after the fight he did for those couple of kills, I was able to nade him as he was one shot in the car bubble there and just end the game. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this second installment of my Champion Free-For-All August season gameplays. I really enjoyed this one as well. This was my 4th placement game, I believe, and I'm going to get the stats for you in a sec. So guys, this is Serenes here, back with my 2nd win of the Champion Free-For-All August season, and I will see you next time on my next video. Bye guys.